Hello everyone, I am Poonam Kakodkar. Welcome to this fourth video in the Bias Interrupter Framework series. In this video, I'll explain how organizations can use the Bias Interrupter Framework to reduce bias in talent management. Talent management covers a range of activities such as employee development, promotions, succession planning, and retention, all of which are essential for building a strong workforce. However, without intervention, these processes are often influenced by biases that disadvantage certain groups. Bias can show up in different parts of talent management, leading to inequities in career advancement opportunities. Here are some examples. Prove it again bias. Women and minority employees have to repeatedly demonstrate competence to get the same promotions or development opportunities. Tightrope bias. Female employees are expected to balance being assertive with being likable, which influences leadership selections. Maternity wall bias. Caregivers, especially mothers, are often passed over for leadership roles because of assumptions about their commitment. Racial bias. Employees from underrepresented racial backgrounds might not receive the same access to mentoring or development programs. Tug-of-war bias. Members of marginalized groups may compete with one another for limited spots in leadership programs, creating internal divisions. Without proactive effort, these biases reinforce the status quo, limiting the diversity of leadership and talent pipelines. Now let's dive into how the bias interrupter framework can reduce bias across various talent management stages. Make career development programs accessible to all. The problem: development programs are often targeted toward employees who are already favored by managers. The bias interrupter: make participation criteria transparent and inclusive. Ensure that programs are advertised widely and not just offered to select individuals. For example, use open enrollment for leadership development programs and track participant demographics to ensure diverse access. Standardize performance and promotion criteria. Problem: managers often use subjective criteria for promotion, leading to biased outcomes. A bias interrupter: create clear, measurable standards for promotion and apply them consistently across all employees. For example, use a rubric for promotion decisions that outlines required competencies and past performance achievements. Implement structured mentorship and sponsorship programs. The problem: informal mentorship often favors people with similar backgrounds or experiences as leaders. Bias interrupter: implement formal mentorship programs that pair diverse talent with senior leaders and create accountability for mentorship outcomes. The pro tip: track mentorship participation to ensure equal representation from underrepresented groups. Train managers to interrupt bias in talent evaluations. The problem: managers may not realize when bias influences their talent management decisions. Train managers to identify and disrupt biases like tightrope bias or maternal wall bias during performance evaluations or promotion meetings. For example, equip managers with bias interrupter scripts to reflect on questions like, am I evaluating this person differently based on stereotypes? Track talent management outcomes to identify patterns. The problem: bias can persist if it is not tracked over time. The bias interrupter: collect data on promotion rates, access to development programs, and leadership placements by gender, race, and caregiving status. Use these metrics to audit and adjust policies if disparities emerge. For example, if a group is consistently underrepresented in promotions, revisit the criteria or development opportunities available to them. Let's look at an example. An organization found that women were underrepresented in leadership roles despite high performance ratings. After implementing structured mentorship programs and creating transparent promotion criteria, The number of women in leadership doubled within 2 years. To conclude, using the bias interrupter framework in talent management helps create fairer opportunities for employees to grow and advance within the organization. The key is to interrupt bias at every stage, from mentorship programs to promotion decisions. Let's quickly look at the main steps. Make career development programs inclusive. Use clear and measurable promotion criteria. Formalize mentorship programs for diverse talent. Train managers to recognize and disrupt biases. Track and audit talent management outcomes to ensure fairness. By embedding these practices into talent management processes, organizations foster a more equitable, inclusive, and high-performing workforce. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has given you valuable insights on how to apply the bias interrupter framework in talent management. Feel free to reach out with questions or for more information.